So this is a one screen. Now look, I'm at Valley here. We go undefeated this year. We're down. There's 10 seconds in the game. I don't know if the QB, I don't know if we're running or throwing the ball. I know we got timeout, so I called the play. So he likes it up top. He grabs it, he throws it. So when we do the top guy, it's one step and go. Get the ball, get upfield. We win the game with that thing. See it from the end zone here. Rip it and rip it. We always have our QBs out in open field, get blocked by the kid. So we've gotten the ball at the edge multiple times. That's a game winner. Now we can do one screen and go. So another pump, we call them pump and goes, but fake the one screen, take off, touchdown. So those are some of the things we can do. Just simple passes to get it out to the perimeter for our offense. I do believe these things can be executed at a young level. Our freshman and JV team, our freshman team, they've never thrown the ball ever. Scored 19 touchdowns on the screens. Because kids can't handle them in space. It's hard to tackle guys in space. We shoot it out there, we let them go. So that's the way we're going to get the ball out there and throwing the ball. I don't know if there's any questions about that. Pretty simple stuff. One thing we do to drill that for us is because of the way we run the screens, the landmark's always the same. The kid's always throwing right to the hash mark. So our QBs just sit there and throw 25 balls right to a hash mark, 1 yard behind the line, and just catch it. Because then that throw's the same no matter which three of those receivers is doing it. The ball's going in the same spot. So that's how we get our kids reps. We try to be a 90% completion on that play, but it changes year to year. So.
Hey, Coach, when you're running a run play, are your receivers still running a screen look?
They're running a screen. The only time they're not running a screen is if it's an outside run play that we need them to block for. One thing I found with this is, first off, receivers don't like blocking. So even if they're dummies out there, let's let them do that. They think they're getting the ball. They're happy. Out there, they're like, yeah, I'm getting the ball. I'm like, don't throw it to that kid. Just so you know, we can keep them happy. We can keep them happy, but that's a lot easier to teach than going and blocking every play. Now, if it's an outside run play, outside zone, for us, speed option, some get the edge, they're going to run block. They're going to get their head on the outside and go. But that's the only blocks we ask them to execute. When I first started this stuff, we used to tell them, we got to go crack these gray area guys. But when I was at Valley, our 140-pound receivers wasn't blocking the 215 outside backer from Cleveland. Wasn't going to happen. So let's go make him defend that space. Even if we just pull him out, we don't have to block him now. So let's stop deal with that, and then our receivers like it a lot. Gives them things to do, and then you say in practice you can be running a run play and have a coach just shoot a ball out to that screen, getting 2-for-1s, getting double reps, and so we don't have to work a lot on pass pro, and we can do a lot of stuff off our runs. And we've never been called for a legal man downfield or anything like that. That ball's out so quick it doesn't matter. We do some stuff where it's late developing. We don't have that issue. So yes, it is run plays for us. Anything else?
What's that running back doing on the screen? Is he crossing over the face?
So when the running back is looking for the QB to stick the ball out, and if he does it, then he knows he's faking. So what we teach our QBs, if they're going to throw it, they're pulling up right now. That's why you see we call it a turn two. It's like a shortstop. We're flipping our hips and throwing right now, so that ball's out of there. But if he saw the ball down, then he's going to run his inside. For us, it's inside zone or counter. He's going to run the play like normal. So the running back's eyes are just looking. Does the ball come down here? Is he extending it? If not, I got to just tuck my shoulder and get through the way. Now, lower levels, that's going to be harder for you guys to teach, but you can just literally call the screen, have your guys run block, and just your QB knows he's got to throw that screen. For us, like I said, it's as simple as 1, 2, or 3. Depending on the year, we change it because the guys scout us, but that's all our QBs do. They go, hey, I like this screen. And even if they don't throw it, they give that signal. And then they'll make the determination based on our hard pan read. If we have 2 receivers in a hard pan, if it's a 2-by-2, then they're looking for the same thing. Do we outnumber them? If it's 2 versus 1, we take it. If it's 2 versus 2, we don't take it. Very simple. Anything else on that stuff? Yes, go ahead.
Coach, do you have a motion into it?
We do a motion, and that guy usually ends up blocking our outside guy. We like it on our one screen a lot. Okay. We will do it off the bubble, too, off the bubble. For us, first year La Cueva, new offense, we try to keep it very simple. Valley, year 4, we can do that, as we've been doing it a lot. So it depends on your guys. And obviously, I was a hell of a coach and I had good players at Valley. We're undefeated, and you don't have good players or not. So, but those are the kind of things we work on constantly just to keep us going. So, any other questions about screen game? Okay, now I'm going to talk about perimeter, getting the perimeters with runs. So this might be a little more pertinent to you guys, but so we'll take a look at this. So we do a lot of this off motion, I'm going to tell you now. But we get to the perimeters with run plays by sending our go back here. Backward motion guy on jet sweep Well, running a run play up front, it's different. So we're not blocking for that jet sweep. In this situation here, and I'll show you, we have a bunch of variations. We're reading this guy. If he comes upfield, then our QB is going to run the power play. If he comes chasing inside or anything, then we just hand the ball off to the running back, he gets outside. Now this is a play our receivers would have to block because it's an outside play if the running back gets it. This will make a lot more sense on video than it will on tape there. And here it is the other way. We'll do it a lot off of motion. So I wanted to show you that. This is not the right clip. So our running back is on a jet sweep path here, which is attacking the receiver because we're in empty. But again, we're talking about attacking the perimeter of the field. By the way, they don't know how easy this stuff is. This is high school football. We got 10 guys scouting. There's the signal. Nobody ever catches up on it. Go too fast, it don't matter. Here, let's go. So we're going to motion. He's on a jet sweep path. We're reading the end man. So he hopped outside, so we just run the power play with our QB. I know most of you guys have running QBs. This stuff is great for a running QB. This stuff is meant for a running QB, I mean. So, and if that end was a squeeze, or if a bunch of crap came up the middle, then you just hand it off to running back on jet sweep, and you'll see that later. I mean, that's just 7, 8 yards. We're running power blocking. The other thing we do in our offense, we have 3 blocking schemes, and that's it. We do a bunch of different stuff in the backfield, but our linemen don't do much.
You got a question?
I have a question.
Yeah.
In your spread, and when you're running your spread, you're putting 9 in the box. Which I know you have hot leads, but what's the quickest way, the easiest way to teach an 8 or 9-year-old to hit a hot read, or basically pick that up?
Right, because you're getting a 9-man box, right? So I think I would go back to the key screen deal of we're going to run this screen out here and get it out there when we have 9 in the box. Or look at, the other thing you can do is a check with me type deal. You get to the line, act like you're going to snap it and look at coach, and you can tell him, throw the freaking screen. You know what I mean? So that you take a little more off his plate and get it out there and attack that hard pan and attack the outside. So knowing the apple, yeah, everything's going to be in the box, right? They don't want you to run the ball, so you have to get out to the edges. So those are some of the things I would look at is check with me's. Which we have a signal, it's check with me, and we set, go, then they look, and then I give them a play to run. So you can see what the defense is doing and just have them do that. So that they don't have as many reads live during the game. This will be the best view. You'll see we're reading the end man, which is right here. He kind of hops down, so I wouldn't have been mad really either way, but he can't play both. We run power blocking. We do this off our counter, off our power, we do it off inside zone. We do a lot of things with the jet sweep here, and you'll see here. So this is with the tight end in. Same stuff. We get the kid to hop out, and there's 3 minutes left against Eldo here. You got to run QB. I love this stuff. So the other rule, guys, that we do with this stuff, anytime we have that jet motion stuff, if it's not to the running back's blocking for the sweep. He's a sweep blocker. The linemen are blocking inside, the running backs are blocking outside. So he would be leading for 7 there, as you can tell. Now look, we do the same thing off the counter. So we pull the guard and tackle one way, but the sweep's the other way. Kind of weird. Okay, but that's what we want. What's that DN going to do when the guard pulls this way, but the sweep's going this way? Stand still. Great. Then our sweep's behind. So this is the type of stuff we like to do. We call that our charger. All this is off counter, so I kind of tag it by our counter game. So same stuff. So we have the jet sweep going one way, the counters come the other with our QB. This is a new one for us, and we've had a lot of success on this. I mean, you're talking about a kid who's, what did we do here? These guys pulled, we could have handed the jet if we wanted, and then we come back and run counter the other way. There it is again. See, and if you notice the recurrent thing, we do a lot of the same stuff, different formations. So now that running back's on the sweep, he gets tackled, great. So our QB runs the ball. Doing out of too bad, guys. Do a little cross dive, but same stuff. Counter. Counter this way, sweep that way. There it is again. I like it a little more off the motion than the standstill. Gives you a lot in the backfield. But again, this is something we can tag with any run play. We can add the jet sweep to it without blocking for jet sweep really. I'll show you. Like I said, this stuff is this is not even done by down the distance, but you'll just get an idea. Jet sweep one way, counter the other way. Jet sweep this way, counter this way. See, right now this defense has to defend the whole field. They're worried about everything. So we have done a good job there of creating some imbalances. Just sweep one way, counter the other way. Like I said, not all these plays will be great. This is our whole season of this one play. But I want you guys to see that it's not always the greatest play, but we definitely like it. Just sweep this way, counter this way. You can do it off motion. If you got a fast kid, he's probably going to beat that end a whole lot, especially when that end's getting down blocked. He's not getting reached and fighting outside. That's hard. Right? That's hard for our linemen to reach that guy. Let's give him something else and see how he reads it. And if your kid's faster than that kid, he's going to win because he's got him outflanked with the motion. So this is stuff we really like off of this. We do it off of counter and power, all our run plays, inside zone, we do it with the jet, everything. There we have the jet. We don't make a good block out here. Number 3 doesn't do a good job getting his head outside, so it's not as good as it could have been. But did we get by the end? That's usually the hardest guy to get by. We get right by him. When we're by him, if we make a block on the edge, we're good. So getting the ball for the perimeter in our offense happens multiple ways. Run plays, jet sweeps, and then like I talked about, the key screens. I have a lot more of this stuff. If you want to email me, it is my last name, which is Marcelli, M-A-R-C-E-L-L-I, at aps.edu. I'll send you any of the stuff we got. I love this stuff. I love football, so I'm more than willing to share with our guys and give it to you. So, but we really just want to put the pressure on the defense at everywhere. We want to make them defend number to number. Okay, we tell our kids that. We believe it gives our receivers something to do in those spread sets because a lot of teams are just handing the ball off. So we've got things that we can miss and match and go in there. Any questions about any of that stuff? Anything else you guys want to see? So we're a big believer in that stuff. We like to run the ball first. We're about 65-35, 60-40 last year, run to pass. But we do want to run the ball. That's the notion of these fancy spread is all about throwing. Our throws are easy. Our throws are that stuff. 80% of what we do in the pass game is off of that type of stuff. We rarely drop back and try to read the defense. We do more things that we've just set up, and we give our kids easy throws, big play opportunities, and they got to go get the ball and get execute. So we like to give our guys chances like that. If you have any questions, I'm going to be hanging out here after. Come talk to me. That's fine, whatever you guys want to do. But good stuff. We do it all off our same blocking schemes, like I said, and we really enjoy it, and our kids enjoy it. If you don't know about the no huddle, if you have questions about no huddle in specific, come talk to me. I've been doing this 7 years now, no huddle. And I would run any offense out of no huddle, whether it was wing T, triple option. I just like the speed that we can go. We can slow it down. We can do whatever we want to do. We can dictate to the defense, and so we love that part of it. So that's one big thing for us. I used to coach wing T, and we just sat there and ran the ball. I would still do it, but I do it no huddle. So, anything else? Questions, comments? Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you.
I mean, so a lot of us, I think whenever you start with passing games, especially, you start with those bubble screens, right? You start with the screens to the exterior, especially at our age, because it's hopefully an easier pass. So usually we start slants, goes, bubble screens. But I think it's showing you a way here or your bubble screen doesn't always have to be to the number 3 receiver, the number 2 receiver. Okay, it's just simple key 1, key 2, key 3, right? Or if you have a key 1 and a key 2, it runs and you're in doubles and it'll run into both sides. Right? And a lot of this stuff, the simplicity, and there's no huddle, just from us doing it as well. So we ran no huddle as 5th graders last year. Okay, the simplicity of it is that a run call, okay, a certain call goes to a certain back all the time. Right? If I'm running a dive call and it's going to 4 different kids in your offense, it's going to be hard. Because you're going to have to call the back and you're going to have to call the play call. Right? But if there's only one kid that's getting the jet or he's getting the stretch all the time and you're calling stretch or you're calling jet, that kid knows he's getting the ball if it's going to the 8-hole, for sure. Okay, so like any time that we run, so whenever we started out as Mighty Mites, I was running 8-jet, 48 rocket. Okay, now we just call 8-jet. So you can simplify things. I know we've been taught in this whole, I need to call a back number, I need to call a hole, and I need to call something else on the back end. Okay, you can actually call where the ball is going with a run type of play, all right? Or you can call a side with a pass type of play, and your kids are going to pick it up. Because it's just as specific to it. Like if we run stretch, I know just one kid is going to run the stretch. Okay, I don't have 4 kids looking at each other like, well, that's my ball. All right? It's more complicated on your end.
It is, but we try to keep it simple. I would like to comment on that is, if we want to jet somebody, we run power. Power is one of our blockers. This is power. If we want to have jet, we just sit jet. Right to left, jet. Left to right, jet. I mean, we're not overly complicated. And we go tempo, we go faster, we yell out the play. In high school, we literally will yell out 6 tempo, which for us is 6 count. I'm screaming it, and we just get up there and we snap as soon as we can. They're too worried about what they got to do. They got to line up still and play football. They can't just sit there and watch you. So
And that's their coaches.
simplicity is nice. I like
Their
that.
coaches are calling it really fast, and the high schoolers pick it up. For us, we don't call it as fast, but I'll have 2 coaches or 3 coaches call it in place. And we have a hot coach, right? So before we send out the offense, it's all right, coach whoever, that's the hot read. So we'll make sure that we'll read that coach or player. Okay, so they're looking at them for the signal. So over on ours, I'm sure Brian can attest to it, you know, we're doing key screens and peaks, and we're doing stretches and jets and things, but we're trying to get multiple coaches out there. If we have guys like Brian that I know is going to watch us play. For the guys that don't watch us play, I can have one guy sitting out there and it's no big deal. Right? And you'll find that throughout the season. But I know there's a lot of stress when you go for rookie and you go to freshman ball and you're leaving the field as a coach. There's some stress involved. Okay? Especially if you're sitting a kid that's running in plays and he can't remember the play from the sideline to the time that he gets to the hub. Okay? Hey, happens, right? Okay? There's a lot of stress involved in that stuff. Okay? Or some of you are having your quarterback run back and forth every play to come get the play. Okay? There's a simpler way. There is. Right? And they might say that it's dumbing down football, but really it's increasing for us. It increases the number of plays on offense I can get in a game. I can't control you and how many plays you get, but I'm going to make sure I get more plays in. Right? Because we want more plays. We do. Now, if you're some other teams and you want to reduce down the size of the game, do that. Huddle up. Right? Take your time in and out of the huddle. Make the game a tight game. Okay? But easy ways. On the high school level, we try to incorporate some of that, give for 5th graders, and they can pick it up. They can do it. Okay?
The other thing I'd say, with signaling, we allow our kids, we say, hey, the play's called this, what do you want to signal? What do you want it to be? They got ownership in it. One year we had a jerk route, and you can tell me what they thought of that. We can't use that, guys. But we let them come up with the signals. You know, we got a play called money. They go, coach, make it ring. So that's money. Right? And so we really try to simplify it, and then we get more, they're bought into that. They enjoy that. They know the stuff that's in there. They won't forget that signal now. They were part of naming it. They won't forget it. So they enjoy that stuff.
It allows you in practice to get more plays in practice as well. You know, they're bringing the kids back all the time, going out, back, going out. Okay? So we practice it in practice. We have coaches on the sideline over there. Kids are reading the plays. All stand behind with our other coaches. We're watching the execution. There's stuff to correct in between in practice. We get it done. Okay? But then the next play's out. And we'll use a script, right? So everybody knows what's coming. Okay? Nice, simple, easy things. Bubble screens, okay? On the stretch plays, get the ball to the exterior, right? And you saw there, really drawing the defense to the exterior and just gutting people. okay, which was really successful.
Yeah, that was one of our better deals.
Okay?
Especially off motion.
With the running quarterback.
Yeah, yeah, with the running QB, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, thanks to Coach Marcelli for coming out.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Did they postpone or did they? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, nasty. I had the box. Yeah, that's pretty good though. How are you looking for all?
I got like 6 guys.
Really?
3 or 4 right after your house. I don't really like some people.
Yeah, for sure. Nice, man. Cool. Well, good luck, man. All right, we'll see you. Yeah, that'll be pretty nice. That's how it kind of worked out for Caleb's game too.
Oh yeah?
He's either before or after. Check in this weekend. They feel the right next to us.
Yeah. Well, that's last weekend. My dad was the only one.
Did you guys end it like